Hello everyone, Syntax77 here. Going to do a quick kind of toss-up video today. Just real quick on the Leatherman Squirt multi-tool. I got some other projects that I'm editing right now, so I promised myself I'd just do a quick little throw up on this. It's not going to be an all-inclusive demonstration or review, I should say, of the Leatherman Squirt, but more like my perspective on it. And that's this perspective of like backpacker, hiker, looking for an ultralight kind of alternative to a multi-tool, as well as someone who works in an office and still wants some sort of decent everyday carry or EDC setup that isn't too blatant when you're wearing those office clothes and whatnot. But my primary thing that I was going for was for backpacking, hiking, camping. What I've been carrying in all my hiking videos thus far, if you've watched any of them, or if you haven't, just know this is what I've been carrying, is this generic multi-tool, about that big, about a 4-inch multi-tool. I think it's 3/4 of an inch thick, and not smallest thing in the world. It's not a Leatherman, it's a, let's just call it a generic brand, that really doesn't matter. But anyway, I've been carrying this thing around because I like to be prepared. You know, it's got your pliers in there. Obviously, that's kind of the centerpiece of most of these multi-tools, is a plier system. And then I've got an assortment of drivers, punches, other things like that. But how many times have I used this? Exactly 0, other than I used the main blade on it one time to cut up some summer sausage. That's it. So I said, man, that's a lot of weight, because let's check the weight on this thing. It is clocking in at 9 ounces, so just over half a pound for something that I don't really ever use. But again, I've got Band-Aids with me all the time. I've never used them. I'm not going to stop bringing them. So I'm not saying that I don't need a multi-tool at all, but this is a little excessive. So did a little research, went out there, started doing the old Googling, looking at some forums, and what I came across as an alternative was, compared to, let's close this guy back up, compared to this monstrosity, enter the Leatherman Squirt. A little bit difference in size, just a little bit. Let's take a look at it close up. It's a real tiny guy. Now you're going to give up some things, but I've still got a decent array of tools on here. Matter of fact, they're all listed here. When you buy these Leathermans, save on paper, they actually just give you one for all the models, and you just you can just figure out based on the diagram which ones you have. This guy has, let's open them up. Let's see what the trade-off is, because, and we'll weigh him as well. Two ounces even. Okay, 2 ounces versus 9 ounces, and the size and thinness. I'll take a look real quick with some. See how quickly that thing snaps up compared to the other guy too. Leatherman makes some nice stuff. A little over 2 inches long, by 3/4 of an inch, and thickness is like 1/3 of an inch. Very nice and small. A lot of people would buy this as a keychain thing. However, I did not. I wanted something I could throw in the backpack and not think about. So anyway, back to opening this guy up. Feels beautiful when you open it. You hear that clickiness compared to that generic guy. It's got some springiness to it. Also, the generic guy did not have that, because you can see if you look real close on there, it's got that piece of metal right here. It's kind of providing that tension. So it's got a nice resistance and springiness to it. It's got regular pliers on the inside there, that opening. We're kind of working at things. Needlenose tips, wire cutters in there for detailed cutting and obviously for wires. They sell an electrician version of this as well that instead of regular pliers is all wire strippers, but in this case just wire cutters. And these are some fine needle nose. Could you use that to take out splinters as if you had a pair of tweezers? Yes, I would say your tweezers could stay at home. At least mine will be. I don't really carry them anyway, but I could use this to get splinters out and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Moving on. Let's see what other tools we get to have in here. You got a file, two sides, one for wood, one for steel. Right there, if we can focus on that. There we go. So there's your file, coarse side, and fine side. I don't know that I'd be using that too much, but it is nice to have the capability. Knife, of course, I tested this out. Decent sharpness, does what it should. I mean, that's a nice little blade right there. How long is the actual blade? I will tell you. About 1.5 inches. So you got 1.5 inches little blade there. Nice. Let's put these away. And that's it for that side. Let's see what's on the other side. 3 more things if I remember correctly. And we have, first up, all these pop out really easy, by the way. If you're seeing me struggle, it's because I really don't have nails. You got your flat driver. Okay. Right there, now that we're focused on it. Okay. Nice flat driver. It's got a little bit of an edge to it, or, you know, tapering, I should say. And this is also your bottle opener. Now it is like a two-dimensional style bottle opener. I did go through the arduous task of testing that bottle opener out on some beer for you guys the other night. It does work, but the trade-off is the smaller two-dimensional bottle opener. Yeah, you're going to have to pick at it a little more, but if you have something with a cap on it, you will get it off. Are you going to be playing bartender and rocking out 6 beers at a time for your friends in no time? No, but at least you have a bottle opener on you, as well as the screwdriver. Speaking of two-dimensional trade-offs, let's take a look at our next thing. There we go. Getting that in focus. A two-dimensional Phillips head driver. Yes, it does work, even though it's only that thin. Pretty cool. So you got your Phillips head going on. And the last thing we have over here, the scissors. There they are. I'll close that to get it out of the way. Scissors are nice and springy. You see they have a little, there you go. Got a little piece of metal there, right there, that's providing the tension. And you can do some nice little precision work with that, or, you know, snip some things. So that's pretty cool. Now that is it. That is the tool set on there. But honestly, the main reason I want this, pliers for taking some knots out that are being a little stubborn, and then backup capability for a secondary knife. I still carry a primary knife. And then drivers, I've never had a use for one out in the woods. I suppose maybe I have a piece of gear that has some screws on it. I don't know. Haven't really had a huge need for that yet, but you do at least know that if that situation should arise, that you've got some drivers. You're not going to be really knocking things out too hardcore, but you will get the job done. So there it is. For me and my needs, that works well. Throw that in the packet, 2 ounces. Good to go. I also like this because once I got my hands on it, I said, man, this is great for everyday carry. Now, I know a lot of people would probably put it on their keychain, but I don't always have my keys with me. Sometimes I go out, I'm not carrying my keys. And also when I'm at work, I don't carry all my keys around because it's just too clunky with my business casual kind of dress attire. So what I do is got a little mini carabiner, and I just slip him through there, and I carry him like that. So it doesn't really add any weight, doesn't really weigh anything. And you can put that on a belt loop. I wouldn't do that at work, but I put that on a belt loop if I'm outside the house, and then at work, because I'm really paranoid about losing this. It was only about 20 bucks, by the way, for those of you wondering, but I don't want to lose it. So this little carabiner I actually put on my back dress button to my back pocket. So for those of you interested, nobody wants to sit on this thing all day, so you just kind of put it through the button there and button it up, and then it'll kind of hang down and be suspended there. That way it's not all the way at the bottom of your pocket, which is literally a pain in the butt. So anyway, there you have it. That is a Leatherman Squirt. I am very happy with it. I've been carrying it on the daily, home, work, and I have taken it out on a recent hike and didn't even know it was there, which is exactly what I was going for. And compared to that, I think, you know, you're doing pretty good in size trade-off. Also, as an EDC item, think about the weight here. You could have yourself, weight-wise, a multi-tool. You could throw in a flashlight. I've done a video on that already. That's the Pre-on 2. You could throw in, we're up to 3.5 ounces. You could throw in a loaded, if you're legal to do so, loaded handgun. Done a video on that as well. Look at that. You're pushing 14.5 ounces for flashlight multi-tool gun. And then you could even throw in, because I still carry a primary knife, which by the way is 4 ounces. If I throw that in there, just over 1 pound. 1 pound, 1 ounce, 3/4. If I can get this guy down, if I can find a replacement for this down to around 2 ounces, I could have everything for under a pound. Pretty nice setup. So, anyway, if you're looking for super light backpacking or everyday carry, high quality multi-tool, I say go with the Leatherman Squirt. They also have the Leatherman Juice out there as well if this isn't quite enough for you. So maybe check that out too. This is Syntax 77. Hope you're having fun out there. I'll catch you later.